I'm driving to get broadband to the point where every Nigerian will pay an average, because we have the numbers, and that's the interesting thing about this country, will pay not more than 500 naira a month for high-speed internet access. That's where I'm going. Commoditize it, then you begin to see services and utilities, then you begin to see value.
Okay, one day, let's talk about businesses.
Okay.
How can broadband help businesses to grow in Nigeria?
Now, a lot of our money is going out of the country because most businesses use apps, software from companies abroad. And this software, most of them are in the cloud now. So you have someone offering you a cloud service that is, the data is banked somewhere. Most of these SMEs can actually set up their own data, can actually host their data here in Nigeria. But the cost of bandwidth is a huge issue. As an example, if I pay $10 in the US, I can get up to 20 megabits per second. $10 here won't get you anywhere.
No,
so how much will you pay to get bandwidth to where your data is so that it can be in the cloud before you can access it? So you can begin to see what broadband will do if it's available, readily available everywhere. People will store their data locally. And if the data is stored locally, it's easier to access. More businesses can now begin to grow, because the cost of setting up data abroad will say, okay, can I pay £2,000 every month for this? No, I can't. So I'm not setting up my business. So I'll start on a small scale. So businesses will explode. A lot of people are out there who want to do things in that space, in the e-commerce space, in the SME space, but are limited by the availability of broadband. So you would suddenly see new businesses, new career paths, new innovations come up because you have broadband access.
So what should we be doing? Where should we be going from now?
We should pursue doggedly and passionately the infracos licenses. Those who have been licensed, we should pursue them, say, hey, put this in place. Because you got the license, because you told us you have the funding to do it. And the government should give them support wherever they have, whatever incentives the government can put in place. Because when you spend about $20 million on improving broadband, the equivalent increase in job creation cannot be quantified. So we should pursue that. We also should pursue a Wi-Fi policy, which is where I play. We should pursue a policy where every public space in Nigeria has access to high-speed Wi-Fi. If you have that, then there's a lot less pressure on 3G operators. There's a lot less pressure on LTE operators. There's a lot less pressure on fiber operators, because all you need to do is take fiber to a particular location and thousands can connect to that one single fiber location over Wi-Fi. That's the whole mentality. We must also pursue that aggressively. We must also begin to look at, why are the costing for broadband, why is it this expensive? What incentives can you give to Main 1, to Glo 1, to WAS, to ACE? What incentives can government give to them to ensure that we lower the cost of broadband? Because yes, the people are there to take up broadband services. We agree. But where is the centimeter mile? People talk about last mile. And I said, last mile is not our problem anymore. We have a lot of microwave, we have some fiber, I think it's a centimeter mile. What is the cost of that centimeter mile? That point where the subscriber gets the service. At what point? Why can't you start manufacturing those devices here in Nigeria? What incentives will you give people to start manufacturing it here? And if you're importing it, what kind of waiver can we get for broadband to grow? The same waiver that was done for voice, can we do the same waiver for broadband? So we can get a lot more people on broadband, and then it begins to become more profitable, and you see an explosion in our broadband infrastructure.
All right, Wande, thank you so much for coming on Tech Trends today.
Thank you, Fred. It's been a pleasure.
All right, you heard from Wande. We need to have the right broadband to grow this nation. And of course, we hope to get there someday. We'll be right back. Our mobile app of the week is Hootsuite. It's an app that allows you to manage all your social media networks and schedule messages for future publishing. Hootsuite gives you a wider scope of all your social media activity, all in one concise dashboard. With this app, you can monitor keywords, manage multiple Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn accounts, and schedule messages, as well as be able to measure your various strategies, especially if you have multiple accounts. Our Tech Review segment today features a question from Shegun, who says, my phone has become so slow, what can I do? Well, your device is slow because of a number of reasons. Maybe it has virus or spyware or malware or basic junk that has accumulated on your device over time. Recall that a few weeks ago, I talked about the same thing happening to your PC, and I introduced you to a tool called CC Cleaner. Well, the mobile version is also called Clean Master. First, it will help you read your system of junk, as well as remove all unnecessary apps that are working behind the background without your knowledge. Secondly, it also has a security function which helps you to protect your device against viruses, trojans, and vulnerabilities. And I'm sure by the time you're done with all this, your system should pick up and become much faster. Now, the second question came in as a phone call during the week, and the caller wanted to find out how SEO works. Now, the basic explanation is that it's a process of optimizing your website for the search engines. It requires you to develop a set of keywords and then build content and create inbound links using those keywords. However, I'm not exactly sure if SEO alone as a strategy is still as effective as it was in the past. This is because the search engines have drastically changed their algorithms such that social signals now play an equally important role. And by social signals, I mean social media activities. Please send your questions or comments to techtrends@channelstv.com using our social media details as displayed on your screen. The internet is becoming the town square for the global village of tomorrow. And that is a quote from one of the digital heroes of our time, Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft. My name is Chukwemeka Agbata. Let's do it again, same time next week on this station. Stay innovative.